The night beckons.
Welcome to part 2 of how we built our rocking pirate ship. In this video, we will be discussing how we built the mast. The mast is attached to the structure shown in part 1, so it is recommended you watch part 1 first. For the mast, the first thing we need to figure out is how tall we want it to be. For this, a 4-inch PVC pipe in 10-foot long sections is best. They can be screwed together and give you an exceptionally strong hold. After some back and forth, I decided that 18 feet of pipe is a good length for me, but it is really up to you and your ship. Historically, the mast can be as tall as 1.1 to 1.3 times the length of the ship at the waterline. To make it clear, this is 15 feet of pipe. The top of the mast is actually going to be about 29 feet tall between one thing and another. With our height decided, we need to place our sails. For the size of the mast, I felt that 8 feet from the bottom and 6 feet above that was good placement for these sails. Again, it is what works best for your size ship. As the sails are fairly light, I used 1/2-inch PVC pipe. This means making a slightly larger hole in the mast to accommodate the sails. Before we work on our sails, we're going to finish up the mast. We're going to start by making our flag. A small piece of pipe works really well here, but I had a javelin prop from last year. I thought it would work well enough. For the crow's nest, these laundry baskets from the dollar store work wonders. I really recommend using one and a 3-foot skeleton. Any larger gets a bit dicey. This is a matter of feel, but zip tying a 3-foot skeleton basket and flag together makes it pretty sturdy. For the rigging, we're going to need a rope going in each direction, and this is not optional. Find a good height near the top and drill a hole large enough to accommodate your rope. Fish the rope through the mast, wrap it around a few times, and tie it to itself. We're going to be using this as an anchor point for our other lines. From here, we can attach our rat lines, the ones that look like rope ladders, that go to each side, and stays, one going forward and one going back. To attach the crow's nest, drill 4 holes evenly spaced around the top of the mast. Run zip ties through the holes into the bottom of the laundry basket. Just to clean it up, we can wrap a bit of rope around the top to cover the holes in zip ties. Finally, we can work on the sails. Ideally, you don't want your ship to go anywhere, so instead of making the masts actually catch wind, we're going to make them look shredded. These masts are held in place by safety pinning the material to itself wrapped around 1/2-inch PVC pipe. I only used about 12 pins here, so you don't have to go crazy. Be sure to leave space in the center for the mast itself. Do about 6 inches. Before we finish the mast, we're going to drill a hole on each side and run a zip tie through it. We're going to be running rope through here later. I didn't get footage for this part, but we still need to actually attach the sail to the mast. Remember that opening we left from the mast? Choose a side and slide half of the material off the sail. Run the PVC portion of the sail through the mast, and when it comes out the other side, reinstall the fabric over it. Keep doing this until the fabric covers the entire PVC pipe again. Now we can safety pin the fabric over both ends of the PVC and lock it into place. Measure both sides to make sure it is even. Then just put a couple of screws in the sail right against the mast to keep them from moving. To actually install the mast, we're going to need to do a bit of planning in the form of a mast support. In the area where we're going to install the mast, in my case the back of the boat, we're going to need to set up 2 8-foot long pieces of 2x4. Clamp it to the bottom and the top of the frame of the boat. Now we're going to need an additional 2x4 on top and clamp it in place. When you're happy with how it looks, screw the 3 pieces of 2x4 together. Note that here we're only going to screw the vertical pieces together. We are not attaching it to the boat yet. Unfortunately, this is where I lost all my footage for the construction of the pirate ship. I will do my best to explain using models and pictures. Once the mast support is ready, we're actually going to remove the clamps and lean the mast support forward, so it is basically laying flat, but still straddling the frame. This part is a bit of a doozy, so I apologize in advance. Remember at the start when I suggested 4-inch PVC pipe for the mast? The reason is that the 4-inch pipe will fit around the 2x4 support that we just constructed. For this, I recommend at least one other person to help you. The mast itself will probably weigh about 30 pounds, so it isn't too bad. You need to get it up high enough that you can mount it on the support. For me, this involved picking up the mast and climbing on a ladder to get high enough, and sliding the mast onto the support. I strongly advise having help with this. Assuming you've got the mast on the support, we're going to need to raise the mast. The easiest way I have found to do this is to have someone pulling on the stay that goes towards the rear of the ship. It is best to have one person inside the ship to start getting it to go upwards, but the other person is really going to have leverage once it gets high enough. The person underneath is likely going to need a ladder to get good height started. Once the mast is vertical, it is surprisingly easy to maneuver. I still had someone with the rear line, but I was able to pick it up and get it in position the way we had it before. Clamp it into place and screw it to the frame. Whoops, I almost forgot this part because it ended up getting added during construction. Add an extra 2x4 here so the rear line can be attached to the boat itself. It will be easiest to do this once the mast is already standing. While the boat isn't finished, tie the forward and rear stays as far forward and back respectively to support the mast. That wraps up getting the mast up. In part 3 we will be talking about putting the hull on the boat. As I said earlier, the remaining footage was lost, so it will have to be done using models and pictures, and I apologize in advance. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch the next part of the construction when it comes out next year.